What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the FansToys Stomp, their version of a Masterpiece Sludge. This was sent to me by James Malgetta. Once again, he sent me his really expensive figures. He was also the person that sent me the FansToys Insecticons. I really appreciate him sending out these very expensive figures for me to look. He does live nearby, not too far away, but still sending this stuff through the mail is definitely a stressful task, so I appreciate it. So let's take a quick 360. You'll see there's a lot of detail on this guy. You got a little paint accents. You've got some translucent pieces with details behind it. Down here you got some translucent pieces with detail behind it. On the sides you've got same thing, that smoked translucent plastic with the gold behind it. You've got the super chromed out wings here. I mean, these are really part of his dyno mode, but very nostalgic and iconic look for him with these. And they've painted everything in here. You can see there's a lot of paint detail, and the rest is sculpted in. So all in all, pretty amazing. And then on the inside is where they've put a lot of detail. There's some nice detail inside those wings. Not something they had to do, but they took the extra, they went the extra mile with that stuff. And same down here, you've got some details inside of here. So all in all, pretty nice looking, well done figure. You do get a lot of articulation. Let's take a look at that. So the head is on a rotating swivel, so you get up to there, down to there, and it rotates all the way around. No side to side. The arms are on this joint, so you can get it up to here. It's more for transformation, but you can get it up that way, or you can get it up this way, so you can get it all the way up to there for lots of articulation there, which is pretty impressive for about this size. Rotates all the way around, or a ratchet. Rotation at the bicep. Single jointed elbow gets you up to there. Rotation at the wrist. Typical FansToys hand, every finger has two joints at each knuckle, and then the thumb also. You do get a ratcheted rotation at the waist, and that does rotate all the way around. Moving on to the legs, you do get a lot of articulation here on the legs. So ratcheted joint up to there, and it holds really nicely all the way up to there. Rotation all the way back to there. It's a really heavy leg that's filled with die cast. This is pretty heavy in my hand. And then out to the side on a friction joint that doesn't really hold it. The weight is just too much, but don't really need that. Single jointed knee gets you up to there, and it holds just fine. Nice strong ratchets. And you do get an ankle tilt. Really it's just at the toe, but ankle tilt and a little tiny bit of pivot here. I don't see a way to get this out of here anymore. You don't really get too much, but plenty of what you need, especially for a guy this big. He's got plenty of articulation on what you might want. You can also move these little claw pieces. Now they do kind of tend to not stay. This one especially just kind of tends to pop out as you're playing with it, but it's fine. You do get two accessories in robot mode. You get the sword, and this does light up. So here's a light, and then here's a light for gun, and it flashes. I'll be honest, it's not really worth the effort to get the batteries in here. They're very hard to get in there. You have to squeeze them in this little tiny compartment there. So, but there you go, there's a light. And as you come to expect with FansToys, they fit in very well into the hands, nice and secure. They're not going anywhere. Looks really good. I really like this gun. The detail on this gun is very nice. You get that gold outline, you get the translucent on the front, and a lot of sculpted detail. Really nice gun on this one. Much better than the Grimlock gun, actually. And then here's the sword. Can't really see the light, so it's not, honestly, getting the batteries in there is really difficult. And then the effect you get is minimal, so not really worth it. But what's amazing is you can get this guy into some pretty dynamic poses given his size. And so that's impressive that a guy this heft and weight and size, you can get it into some nice dynamic poses. And he holds them, he's nice and secure. And for a quick size comparison, here he is with the Takara Tomy Masterpiece Blue Streak. A Blue Streak comes up to about his waist, so way bigger here. And intentional, you know, they want these guys to be bigger in robot mode, but there he is with that. And there he is with the FansToys Grimlock. Their grinder, they call them, and they do look really good together. I just, the size of these guys, they're going to take up so much room on your shelf, but man, they do look good together. So there they are. So that's really it for the robot mode. We're going to get this guy transformed into his dinosaur mode. I'm not sure. I believe he comes packaged in his robot mode. Again, I don't have the packaging, so I'm going to assume that he comes this way. So first thing you want to do is take the weapons out of his hands. Those are nice and secure in there. Set those aside. And let's work on the arms first. So just so you can see, I'm going to fold this up. So open these up. Open up this panel. Fold the hand in, close this panel, and then close these back down. Pretty simple. Same on this side. And your legs are pretty much done. So now we can open this head up, and we're going to fold this head outwards. And you can see you got the nice dino head there. And now we're going to get this head back in. So it is pegged into the back here, right into the back of the neck area. And this is just going to accordion down into here and rest in there like that. Close this up. Bring the head around. Just leave that there for now. And now we can bring these to the front. So rotate these up, and that'll allow you to get this around. Same on this side, get this around. And now that you have that, now you can put this back down. Put the head, dino head down, close these up around it, and there's that little peg there, kind of holds this in place. And there you have that. And rotates these to the front. These are going to sit on the front there. So there we go. And now we'll work on those legs. So the legs are a little more tricky. So rotate this whole bottom piece here. And you need to use these two buttons here to release the legs. It's kind of tricky. I mean, they're a little bit tight, but that's going to allow this piece to rotate downwards. Same on this side. Push that in, rotate downwards. Now you've got the legs pushed down. Okay. Next, we are going to get all this stuff out of the legs. So rotate this out of the way. Just set that aside for now. This is kind of a cool little ingenious thing they did here. So they have this leg all kind of collapsed in. So you want to get it out. And you can see how it kind of sits flush. And then you're going to close this back up. And that's going to close up that gap. It's really ingenious how they had that folded up in there. It's just good design. Rotate the leg around, and almost like the G1 toy, you're going to get this rotated onto the back. And also don't forget to pull this out. It's really tight. You're going to extend this thigh here. It's very tight. It's kind of scary tight. I don't really like the way that works, but that is how it works. And then get this folded up. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So get all this junk out of the way. Open up this panel here. Get this leg folded outwards and sitting flush. Then close this back up. And this should kind of hold everything into place. Again, I really like the design of that, the way they did that. Rotate the leg around. And now you're going to close this up. Don't forget to extend the thigh. And then fold this up in here. And you can see it all kind of comes together underneath. There are 2 pegs here, so you want to get those pegs together. You can see there's 2 pegs. So get this tail all folded outwards, and you can start pegging stuff together here and up here. All this is going to peg together nice and securely. We'll take care of the tail kind of last, because that's sort of, I try to be careful with that. Alright, so now open up these panels here, and they are on this ratcheted piece here. Same on this side. And then these are going to peg in right here into each other. And up into here. And that kind of closes up all the gap on the top. Just leave these here for now. Now we can take care of this tail piece. So open these up. These are really tight pieces, so you got to use some grip strength there. Open up these little pegs here, and this is going to hold the tail in place. Okay, so get this tail pegged into his butt right here. You'll feel that just kind of peg in, and then push these down into the cavity, just like that. And that's going to hold everything into place. And then lastly, you can squeeze these tail pieces together. I try to be careful with the chrome because I don't want to damage anything there. Now we can work on these legs. So these are also a really cool little transformation. I love the way they designed this. It's kind of hard to get the thing open, so I try to use a nail and get this panel open, but you don't want to get that whole panel open. Rotate the leg or the foot out, close this back up once you get that folded, and then push this back this way. You have to get these feet out of here, so the best way to do that is a spudger. So I'm going to use a spudger. Get these feet out of here. If we can actually do that. There we go. And these are all die cast, by the way. All of the toes are pretty much solid die cast. Well, not solid, but die cast. Again, here you're going to want to open up right on this gap here. You can get a fingernail in there. And then pull the foot out and push it all the way back. Rotate it and then push it back in. And then get your trusty spudger. You pretty much don't need the spudger anymore. Get the head situated. And there you have Stomp in his Dyno mode. And this thing is really impressive. This is absolutely massive. Let's take a quick scale comparison. Here he is with Blue Streak, just absolutely insane size. Now, dinosaurs are supposed to be pretty big. In the show, they were also pretty big. I have no idea if this scales or not. It's just no way for me to make a judgment call. To me, it's good enough. It's big enough. It looks great. I don't care for anything bigger than this. In fact, this is actually too big. I was telling James that I feel like this is kind of too big for my collection. It just takes up so much room in its alt mode that you're kind of limited. You need a whole shelf just for the Dinobots. Right now I only have Grimlock, but if I were to get the rest of these, they would just take up a massive amount of space. So here's his mouth that does open up. There is a gun inside, and you can use a spudger to get that down like that. And so he's got a nice little flamethrower gun in there. You also have the little effect part here, so you can pull up on this piece, and then you can pull out the eyes, and they give you this piece right here, the googly eyes, or I guess the popping out eyes. Now, I did do a shot with this, and you probably saw that in one of my promo pictures. So let's just put that image up on the screen so you can see it. And there he is with the Toy World Constructor, and he looks pretty good. I think it's a cool little effect they included. They didn't have to do that. There was actually no other Masterpiece Devastator out there, so I can only imagine this was specifically intended to be used with the Toy World Constructor. So there you have that effect. So the detail on this is really just quite amazing. There's a lot of little paint details, little just accents here there. They really went all out. Little paint touches. The chrome just shines and stands out. All of the detailing just very well done. So that's really it for this dyno mode. Let's do the articulation, because you do have a lot of articulation here. So the neck goes up and down here. The head can rotate pretty much all the way around there. It doesn't light up or anything. Not that I wanted it to, just in case you were curious. The jaw, if you open the head all the way up to there, the jaw can go up to there, which is plenty. It's all on a ratchet, which is really nice. Everything, including the jaw, is on a ratchet. The front legs are on a ratchet, just like the arms were for the shoulders, so no change there. You do get a hinge there, and then these toes can hinge outwards, but that's really for transformation, so nothing really much there. You do get a kind of a pivot here, so if you wanted to pivot the foot down, that's really thoughtful. I haven't seen a lot of dynamos that have that articulation there, so you could get something like that with him stepping. That's kind of cool. Same with the back leg, you've got a really nice tight friction joint there. You can get some angle out. Oh, I forgot about this one, does also angle out, but that's the same joint you're utilizing from the shoulder. Same angle here, and then you've got the toe tilts there, and you can also rotate here at this joint. So pretty much all the articulation you'd want, you can get this guy into some really he can really pose, which is, it's impressive for something this big to have this much posability. Really quite creative on this guy. So final thoughts on this guy. I think this is a really incredible release by FansToys. They just nailed it. They nailed the robot mode. I don't know if, I think I forgot to show his cartoon image, so I'll insert that as we go here, but just a really good likeness, and overall the quality on this thing is amazing. It gets you back to feeling like Masterpiece, right? This is Masterpiece. You know, something that's on a next level. It's got a lot of die cast, the paint, the accuracy, the feel of it, the heft of it, the joints, you know, just hitting on all cylinders. This is something that you call a true masterpiece. I wish this was Takara's line, but it's not. It's FansToys, and we did get a Takara version of Grimlock, and it was okay. It wasn't bad, but the FansToys version definitely nails it, and so does this. This Sludge is just phenomenal the way it's built. As far as this set, definitely a recommend for me. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll have some more Earthrise figures coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you next time.